Good evening. It's so good to see you tonight. So glad we can gather together and work with Jesus Christ around the table to see now here at the Last Supper what he's truly offering to us. Beautiful preludes. That was. Are those little sections of parts of a whole scene from Rainey that today and tomorrow and?
No, actually they are by Joel Rainey and they are from the Lord's Prayer.
Really?
Yes, based on certain scriptures.
Yeah, I was going to say just to pull out a certain word. That just beautiful. Yeah. Wow, that was neat. Excellent. So we're here tonight as Jesus was with his disciples. Now, we celebrate the Last Supper, but what Jesus and the disciples were celebrating was the Passover meal. Now, you know how that whole story goes, let my people go and all of that, to Charlton Heston, right? So this is the night that after all the plagues that were not able to convince Pharaoh to let God's people go from, and be free now for a change, after all those hundreds of years of slavery, that now God decides that the angel of death will come upon the entire land of Egypt. And the angel of death will pass over every home that has lamb's blood smeared on the lintel of the door. So either do it or you don't. So, and God had all these provisions. It was incredibly masterful to see the detail God offers to them. So if a family doesn't have a lamb, your neighbor can provide some lamb's blood for you. They work together. But the goal was that certainly all of God's people would have lamb's blood smeared over the door, and the angel of death would pass over. Now, the interesting part is that if not, then the firstborn would die. Now, stop and think of your own family. Are you the firstborn of your parents? So it's not just the children, it's every generation in your home, if you are the firstborn in that generation. Can you imagine the magnitude of this? And of course then that affected Pharaoh's household as well. So finally, Pharaoh lets them go. And the story continues for quite a bit after that. But this night is a night of remembrance for the Jews. They literally recite and rehearse all the scenes of several thousand years previous. Every year they go through this. Children are exposed to the history and the wonder of God from birth. Every year you go through this. They even set up a chair and a place setting for Elijah, because Scripture says that Elijah must return before the Messiah comes. By the way, the Jews don't believe in Jesus. So, not just that I tell you that. So they're still waiting for the Messiah to come. So this Passover, they have a place setting for Elijah. We read in our scriptures, Jesus identifies John the Baptist as Elijah. The disciples ask him, man, what are we supposed to think of this guy, John the Baptist? Well, think of him as John the Baptist, right? So Elijah had to come, and then the Messiah can come. So John the Baptist served as Elijah, and then the Messiah can come. So this night for the Jews was a night of remembrance of all that incredible history of exactly what God had done for them. But Jesus now takes all of that and moves it even greater. See, the whole point of Passover is that God saved us then. And for us tonight, we celebrate that God is saving us now. So Jesus commands us to lovingly serve one another. That's one. Two is that Jesus tells us to remember this night. As the Jews remembered their night, Jesus says, guess what? This is way more important. This is your salvation being offered. You were saved back then, but now I'm offering to you salvation for all time, forever and ever. You must remember this night. That's two. And thirdly, Jesus gives what is easy to understand as the 11th commandment. We just got through the 10 commandments, right? Jesus gives us the 11th command. He says, I command you to love one another. This is a big night. Jesus is able to take all that is past, bring it into the present, and project it into the future. And all that happens around the Seder meal, the Passover meal. So tonight we celebrate as Jesus